know what he wrote himself, which is...
Oh, come on. He's on record for saying this stuff. He wrote it in, what, 2008? He's fully aware of what he said.
But it's the most controversial paper he wrote that was criticized by scholars all over the world, all over the scholarly institution, because he openly called for government agents to infiltrate activist organizations and activist groups. He was criticized very highly for that, and I didn't believe him. And at that point, I could have just left it, but I wanted to follow up. I wanted to know, he even said himself, I hope I didn't say something like that. And I was like, if you do, can you retract them? We know you did. It's in writing. Everybody, is speaking out about this. It was a huge controversial paper that you wrote. And can you just retract them? And he wouldn't even answer that. He didn't want to go on record saying he's retracting what he said before, which proves that he does stand behind it, and he was just trying to weasel his way out of it. And we have to find a way to be persistent, be smart, and to stand our ground and to know how to actually get these guys in that moment and asking them to clarify if he still stands by them. Really just shows everybody this guy's a weasel, this guy's a liar, this guy just lied what he previously just told me, and he is standing by the statements he stood by. He could have easily, I don't know why he didn't do this. He could have easily either stood behind ideas. Everybody knows he wrote it. He knows he wrote it. He could have easily stood behind them and had an intellectual conversation with me about it. Or he could have said, no, I don't stand by him. I retract whatever is written previously before. I don't know why he didn't do that. And I don't know, these guys are just implicating themselves and making themselves look guilty. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. It's easy. And I encourage everybody to go out there and to question these guys. You have no idea what amazing feelings, what amazing moments come out from just talking to somebody, communicating with somebody. It's just such a thrill, and I encourage everybody to participate and to take part in our life, in our world, in our InfoWar, as you call it, and to get involved, get out there, and ask real questions.
Well, we need like 100,000 more people like you, 100,000 Paul Reveres, if you will, that go out there and ask these questions that nobody else is asking. Our future, America's future is in the balance. So I really admire you for what you're doing. And to me, I used to be a big football fan before I woke up and broke the matrix. And this is my new football game. When I see you corner these guys and expose them and watch them, try to run and hide from you, it's like you just scored a touchdown. And so I love to see that sort of reaction from these, these corrupt government officials and these globalists that you seem to track down and corner. So do you get the same kind of rush? It must be a rush when you go there, because you're risking being arrested, being tased. God only knows what's going to happen. You've gotten beat up before by New York police officers, so you never really know what's going to happen, and it's very exciting journalism as well.
It is, and I've been beat up, arrested, and assaulted, and harassed, and threatened for doing this many times, but there's nothing that beats the thrill of going up to somebody powerful, looking them in the eyes and letting them know, we know what you're doing, we know what's going on. Cass Sunstein is on record saying people are dumb. They could be easily manipulated. I don't think people are dumb. I don't think the people listening right now are dumb. I think they're very smart, intellectual, beautiful human beings that are waking up to the world that we're living in right now. And the reality is ugly, but the solution is beautiful, to quote my friend Joel, which I recently also made a tribute video to. But the solution is beautiful, and it's amazing to go through this feeling. Just going there. I was very nervous. I still do get nervous, and it's normal to get nervous. A lot of people out there who are going to do this for the first time are going to get really nervous. You're going to shake. You're going to get goosebumps. You're going to stutter. You're going to be scared. But just knowing the effect that you could have, believing in yourself, being confident is the best thing you could do, and just speaking from the heart, speaking truth, is the most powerful thing you could do to authority. Because when you look somebody in the eye like that and you tell him, he sees that. You could see it in his eyes. He's afraid. He in his mind, he's like, we have one that could see. And it changes his perception of him thinking that we're all just stupid, which he, again, said publicly. We're not. And by all of us standing up and not being afraid to speak truth, speak from our heart.
Well, and I think these guys, they honestly believe that the people are dumbed down, but that's because they're sheltered. They usually, if they speak to any media at all, it's the controlled, bought and paid for mainstream media. They're not used to going out in public. They rarely go out in public because of, when they do, it's there's a good chance that there could be a confrontation like what we saw with you and Susting.
Yeah, it's really horrible to see where our mainstream media is, where the prostitutes and correspondents are fed questions and asked the questions that the people they're interviewing are asking them to ask. That's not journalism. That's pretty much propaganda. That's prompting up other people, and I think the mainstream media, and I think the 6 corporations that control almost 90% of everything we see and hear on media are responsible for a lot of the problems that we're facing in today's societies. I hold them more responsible than I do anybody else, because they're the ones who are dumbing people down. They're the ones who are not telling people what's going on, not telling them the truth, not following up with real information. And the only way to do it is to be truly independent. We have no corporations running us. We have nobody telling us what to do. We have no bosses. We have nothing but you listening right now, supporting us. That's the only thing keeping us going right now, is the people listening in right now. And it's the only way to do it. And it's hard, but I love doing it, and we're not going away anytime soon. We're only beginning here, and we're going to have a lot more interesting videos coming up very soon.
That's right. Well, you're damn good at what you do, and take it from me, you know, I worked with the enemy. I worked for Scripps Howard newspaper, and I saw firsthand for myself just how difficult it was to get past, you know, the important information past the gatekeepers. I even read, you know, the news once a day on the radio, and they would try to get me to announce, you know, where people could take their children to go get the H1N1 flu shots, for example. And so we had confrontations like that where I refused. I'm not going to go on the radio and tell people how to get these injections. So so I definitely know that they are corrupt, and independent media is a must. Independent journalism is a must. What's next on your agenda? Or let me ask you this. What is on the forefront right now? What do you think is the most important issue that we're facing right now? And how do you warn others to, you know, about our State of the Union, those who have broken the matrix? What can you get them to tell others out there to warn people?
I think the most important thing that is troublesome today, and the most important thing that we should concentrate on, is getting rid of the fear. I think if we get rid of the fear and the paranoia and the hatred, and if you get rid of that, I think a lot of more beautiful things will happen. And the way you do that is just by standing up for what you believe in, speaking from the heart, and being able to be yourself and not being afraid to just be the human being that you are and not conform, and be able to speak out and be able to talk out. Our words, our, you know, thoughts have a lot of power, have a lot of energy, and we need to utilize that in a positive way, in a positive method that helps promote love and compassion and being there for each other and standing up with each other and building communities and building organizations together to resist the tyranny that we're facing today. But that starts with you losing your fear and believing in yourself, and that's what I've been calling for day one. We have to be the change we want to see in this world. Nobody else will do it. We could complain about the mainstream media not doing it all day, but instead of complaining, I'd rather go out there and do their job for them and make them irrelevant. That is my main duty. That's what I want to do in life. I want to make sure the mainstream media becomes irrelevant by doing their job better than they ever will, and by asking the questions that they never will. And if we all just make a stand, if we all stand up, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But it takes you listening right now to actually do that. And again, we're not going away anywhere. We got
there's a great awakening happening right now, and I think, you know, as time goes on, more and more people are going to wake up. Tell us about We Are Change New York. What's the latest that's going on there?
Yeah, we just released 4 new videos from May Day yesterday with Tom Morello, Immortal Technique, Max Kaiser. We have videos of police brutally attacking protesters in New York City yesterday, leaving some people bloody. And we're doing live video reports almost a couple days a week now, and you could find those by going on my Twitter. If you go to twitter.com/Luke We Are Change, Luke We Are Change on Twitter, you could see the instant moment that I'm going live, and you could live through the moments that I'm going through. You could see exactly what's happening live, unedited, and I think that's where the new citizen journalism is heading, is showing people exactly what's happening, unedited, at demonstration, at press conferences. We're going to start doing those a lot more, so definitely tune in, watch, participate, get involved, support us as much as you can, but most importantly, the best thing you could do is going out there and doing it yourself. We Are Change is an idea. We Are Change is not an organization. It's not a group. It's an idea that we take upon ourselves to change the world for the better.
Well, and I couldn't agree with you more, and that's something that, of course, we're doing here as well, a lot of live events, and it looks like we'll be joining you at Bilderberg here the next few weeks. Looking forward to that. You know, and I think we should have you on the show again sometime. I'd like to cover like your top 5 confrontations and kind of just break each of those down. I think it's a very effective tool to show how these, government officials, the elitists, how they run and hide, and when they are truly exposed, it kind of shows everyone exactly what's going on here. So I think your videos are an important tool, so it'd be good to have you back. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It'll be awesome to be back. It'll be hard to pick the top 5 video
Let's do top 10.
confrontations of politicians.
We'll do the top 10.
But my favorite videos right now are the satire comedy videos where we use humor to educate people about the real issues, about what's happening, to awaken a lot of people that are not open to this message and don't usually hear this. But by using comedy, we slowly enter more people into this realm of thought, into this kind of information. And I think comedy and satire is the new way to go to reach more and more people and to get them involved and to get them to care when they don't usually care. Satire and comedy, we started really doing a lot of those, and also human life interest stories that touch the soul and touch humans' emotions, to make people understand that we're all human beings, we're all here in this world together, and we have to enjoy the short time that we have with each other and to make the best out of it.
Well, I'm into that, brother. I certainly appreciate all that you do. I really liked your piece that you did on the subway in New York. What's the title of that for folks that may have not seen it yet?
Yeah. It's Just Keep Going. You got nothing to lose.
Okay. That's one of my favorites. Your cinematography is getting better and better, too. So, well, hey, we're running out of time. Perhaps we'll see you at Bilderberg. If not, look forward to having you on again soon. Thank you for joining us, Luke. God be with you, and look forward to having you again soon.
Thank you so much. I'll see you at Bilderberg.
All right, man. Look forward to it.
All right.
Okay, that just about does it for tonight's show. Thank you, Paul Joseph Watson, for covering the first half of the news. Thank you, Luke Rudowski, for joining us in that awesome interview. And thank you for watching. We hope that you will join us again tomorrow evening, 7:00 p.m. Central Time. Until then, good night. God bless. Fight the New World Order.